Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Israel's war against Hamas. Let's bring back in Aaron Cohen for more analysis. He, of course, is a former Israeli Special Forces member and a counter-terrorism expert. Aaron, Prime Minister Netanyahu's message to the troops up in the north on the border with Lebanon, pretty strong today. This is the war. It is do or die. They should die. Prime Minister Netanyahu is absolutely clear to his troops, both north and south, what this mission is.
Yeah, we got to remember, Bibi Netanyahu is one of our warrior sons. He came up, was an officer in the General Staff Reconnaissance Unit. I'm not sure if that's who he was speaking to. We've got a lot of Spec Ops units in Israel, but you know, Bibi coming down, talking to these special operators is a big deal. It sets the tone. He's a warrior through and through. He lost his late brother Yonatan at the Entebbe raid, who is a national treasure, is a hero in Israel, and it shows just how ensconced and personal this is for Bibi. Obviously, he was deeply affected by what happened to his brother, but the entire country now is deeply affected. And for Bibi showing faces, I think it's a very positive message that he's sending. It's showing strength. It's showing support. It's what real leaders do in crisis. So I think it's the right thing that he's doing. It's a big deal.
I'm interested in, though, he is the one who has the final say in sending the troops in. You go back down south to where the hundreds of thousands are waiting to go across that border into Gaza. They've been waiting a long time. What, as a veteran of the IDF yourself, how does frustration build up? You know, you think it may be a bad analogy, but a sports team waiting to go and waiting to go and waiting to go. If the game gets cancelled or postponed, there's frustration. There's an emotional price, an emotional weight you give. And are the IDF troops feeling that now?
I definitely think that there's a bit of anxiety. We've got a lot of reservists who get called in. You got to remember the meat of the IDF is made up of 500,000 reservists. You know, we may have up to 200,000 regulars. Again, you know, a lot of Spec Ops, specialized units in Israel. We treat tactics like we treat medicine. We got units that deal with the heart, units that deal with the lungs, etc. So there's definitely some anxiety building up. But I can tell you from my sources in Israel that the collective feeling of going into Gaza and handling business is very high. The motivation is extremely high. There's a lot of determination. Again, it's not Israel's first time being attacked on multiple fronts, so whether it's Hezbollah in the north and specialized commando units like Sayeret, Matkal, whether it's the Yamam National Counterterrorism Unit, Yehidat Miuchedet Mishtartit posted up at schools so that there's no incursions coming over that border. Everybody is on a very high level of readiness right now, and the motivation is there.
But is there a limit to how long you can keep that size of force waiting?
I believe that Israel trusts its leadership, and I know that the officers on the ground are doing an excellent job of making sure that everybody is mentally prepared and focused. And they understand that while time is not a friend of the hostages, it certainly is a friend of this incursion because it allows Israel to be able to get all of the intelligence they need so that it's actionable and that it's safer for our troops when they move into the south. So I think Israelis are smart. They trust their command, and they're going to give them the time that's needed. The officers are going to make sure that the morale stays high. Certainly there's an increased sense of anxiety the more time on you know, sitting outside those borders. But having said that, you know, again, this isn't Israel's first time being attacked on multiple fronts, and you know, right now it's okay for them to just get focused, get their gear ready, let the Air Force do what they have to do.
You and I have talked a lot about how difficult it's going to be if, or more likely when, they go in Gaza. The tunnel system, Hamas has had a lot of time to prepare, and I don't think anybody would kid themselves that when Hamas was preparing the initial terrorist attack, they were also planning for what came after. They're not completely stupid. They knew that Israel would come after them, so they've had time to prepare. How prepared is the Israeli public for the inevitable Israeli military casualties?
The Israeli public is ready for Israel and its defense forces, an entire security apparatus on a macro picture to do whatever it takes to completely eradicate Hamas. Israel has come together. I'm hoping that this sends a strong signal to the Americans and to our allies for this country to come together. What we're seeing here is the preeminent stages of a potentially global, much bigger situation, obviously leading to Iran. However, the Israeli public, everybody serves in the military. It's collective.
Okay.
So there's a lot of support right now from the Israeli public for the IDF.
All right. Aaron, we will be back to you at the top of the hour. I want to talk to you more about the role of Iran in all of this and what Israel and the world can do about that Iranian role. Our coverage will continue as we hear that Israel continues to strike targets in Gaza. We will be back after a